Hey you guys, it's Brandy with Eternal Harvest Decor, and today I'm here to show you how I made this king-size headboard. This is a Target knockoff. It's a rustic style, and she sent me some pictures of the Target king-size headboard. They were out of stock, and she also wanted to change the color from the colors that Target had to this white distressed chippy look. And so I thought, why not? It sounded really fun. I actually used the measurements from the Target headboard, but everything else I kind of went through and did a little bit differently. I'll walk you through the steps, I'll give you the measurements, I'm even going to show you how I did the lighting and also the distressed paint look. I do have a video specifically on this distressed paint look, and if you're interested in that, I'll try and link it above here or in the description below if I can figure out the YouTubes, guys. But otherwise, I'm going to walk you through those steps in this video. So stick around with me. I first started with some research, trying to understand how it looked in the pictures that she sent me, and then I did the design myself. So I'll give you the measurements and all of that coming up. But it's a pretty easy project, so stick with me. Let's get to it. So this is the picture that I was sent over by my client. As you can see, it's super rustic, which she really liked, but she wanted it to be white with the darker color, the darker stain color showing through. And then it also included this lighting at the top, so I wanted to be able to replicate something like that for her in the piece that I designed. So I started with some 1x6s from Lowe's. I wanted this to be a fairly inexpensive project, but also solid, and as a headboard, 1x6s work just fine. I'll make sure and include a materials list below in the description. Here I have all of my 1x6s, and I grabbed some 2x4s and some hardware to put this together. You also want to make sure you grab some really good construction glue. I used Loctite heavy duty construction adhesive for this project, and it worked great. So I hear about this all the time. I tend to pull in forward facing, forgetting that I need to unload and have to go turn my car around and unload backwards. Figured it out, guys. I got it all done and unloaded and ready to build. So here I start by cutting my 2x4s to the height that I want the bed. One of the challenges of this piece was that I wanted the lighting in the top, and I wanted to hide the wiring behind in the posts of the side of the headboard. So here I designed a little groove by using 1x2s in between two 2x4s as a place to hide that wiring behind the bed. So I used 4 2x4s in all as the posts, and you can see here how I lay out the 2x2s. I did the 2x4, put the 2x2s on each side and nailed those in, and then put the top on and then clamped it. And here I used the Loctite, worked really well, construction adhesive, and there you can see the groove that I created with the 1x2 in between. Here's the second post with the 2x4 on bottom, and I stacked the 1x2s right on top of that with the Loctite, and then I put another 2x4 right on top of that to create that groove. Now I did brad nail these into place, but it's not necessary. If you have clamps and you can line it up just right, then that should be enough to hold it. If you have the brad nails, it just makes it a little bit easier, but it can be done without them for sure. While the glue up was drying, I pulled out my joiner and prepared that for the pieces that go across. Now you do not need a joiner to do this project. This can be done with a table saw as well. I happen to have a joiner now. I didn't used to, so I know what it's like not to, but it definitely helps. If you don't have a joiner, pull out that table saw and just give yourself a nice square edge on all of your pieces. Here I'm taking a 1x6 and gluing that to the posts I created before. This will give me my front piece and also allow that groove for the back of the headboard. Once that was done, I was ready to start attaching my cross pieces. So I laid that out here, and I used a 1x2 as a spacer for the top and my brad nailer. And then again, I used some wood glue For this part, I just used some Titebond II and then my brad nail. At this point, I decided I wanted a little more stability to the frame portion, so I went ahead and measured in between and then cut some 2x2s that would attach the two posts together to help keep it square and just give it a little more stability. I used pocket holes for these and attached them with some Titebond and pocket hole screws. Once these were connected, I felt a lot better about the stability of the frame, and I was ready to attach the cross pieces. I started this process by clamping the top board flush with the posts and then using a 1x2 to become my spacer. So you can see here that I'm using Titebond. I don't spread my glue in these kinds of projects, but I tried to move the board around so it spreads it pretty as well. And then just spacer, glue, brad nail. So here's a look at the whole front portion of the piece. It's pretty much done, but I do still need to cut a piece for the top, a cap. I had a 1x8 lying around, so I put my joiner away and pulled out my table saw, and I ripped this 1x8 down to size. It was about 6 inches for the cap, and it's nice and straight with the table saw. I'm working on plans right now for this table saw bench. I love this thing, and it's been really great to nest under my miter saw bench. It's super quick, super easy, and tucks right back under in the end, so stay tuned for the plans for that. They'll be coming out shortly on my channel. And now it's time for the finishing process. I sanded everything down to 120 grit. And now for this distressed look, I start with stain along all the edges of the piece. I'm using Classic Gray by Minwax right here, and I also put it on the knots. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on this finishing process, I actually made a video about it a little while ago. You can check it out on my channel, or I'll try and link it below. The next step in this process is to grab some finishing wax. I like the Minwax finishing wax. It works really good. And then you're gonna grab a paint scraper and you're gonna apply this wax along wherever the stain is. And the idea is wherever the wax goes on is what will show through when we scrape the paint. So apply that wax everywhere. I like it on knots, depending on how much you would like distressed will depend on how much wax you apply. And wherever that is will show through. Next, you're gonna grab your favorite primer. I really like the Zinnser Bullseye. This stuff covers really well, and where we have dark stain we're wanting to cover and seal up, this is my favorite go-to. So grab your favorite primer and cover the entire space. I have lighting that I'm adding into this king size headboard, so I decided to measure and determine where the lights are going to be placed and to get those holes drilled before I paint the final coat. So this is just primer, and here I'm just trying to decide where I'd like those lights to be placed. The final placement ended up being about 9.5 inches from the side on both sides. I used a 1/2 inch drill and just made a hole where the wiring will go through a little later. Once the holes were in place and everything was ready to go, I cleaned this off, and it's time to scrape away the wax to reveal the distressing. This part's really fun, and it really comes together during this portion. So I just take my paint scraper and I start scraping everywhere where wax was applied. This is after you finish painting. All coats of paint are finished and dried. Then you can take your paint scraper and just scrape away that wax and see what it reveals. It's kind of fun. Again, for a more in-depth tutorial, go check out that video I made a few months ago about this entire process. But otherwise, have fun scraping off that wax and seeing what it reveals. And here it is, just about done. I actually just set that lamp there to kind of get an idea of how it's going to look once it's attached. Make sure the distressing looked good. And now I've lifted it up and I'm gonna get ready to finish up the wiring. So I ordered these lamps directly from Amazon, and they just plug into the wall, but I wanted to wire them through the back of the bed, and unfortunately the wiring went through the bottom of each lamp. So I had to unhook them here in the back and rewire them through the bed frame, which really wasn't too hard. They already had a piece in the back where the neutral wire and the hot wire connected, so I just had to disconnect that and rewire through the back of the bed. I love these lamps. They turned out really good, and I'll make sure and put a link below. So here I'm just fishing the wiring through that I disconnected earlier. This is the plug portion. Fishing that through that 1/2 inch hole so that I can get the mounting hardware that came with the lamp and screw that directly to the bed frame. I just used some small 1/2 inch screws that I had on hand, screwed that into the bed frame top, and it was ready to reconnect. One of the cool things about this package was that these lamps came in pairs, and so I got 2 identical lamps and was able to put them on either side of the bed. Here I'm reconnecting the wires and screwing it to the mount. It was super easy. The whole wiring process took me about 30 minutes total, start to finish. Which really isn't bad considering the impact that these lighting elements bring to this headboard. I think it's a really cool addition, and it was pretty easy to install. And that's it, it's all done. Now you get to step back and admire your work. This was really easy, you guys. It was maybe a day project, day or 2, depending on how much time you have. It makes a huge impact. The lighting is awesome. Now I really want one for myself. I'm really thankful for customers who have such great taste because it helps me furnish my own place. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Drop me a comment if you'd like. I'm always happy to respond. I try to respond to everybody, and stay tuned for more videos like this. See you next time.